Whoa, Dritos, welcome to the stream. I'm back, man. Back in Miami, away from the terrible heat in the flat land. Well, it's flat down here, but just different, man. And unfortunately, as yesterday, the sellers were testing that 28,800 level, an undeniable key inflection point from 2021, from early 2021 and mid 2021. That was broken with a candle close confirmed yesterday, and here's the follow through. Eventually you might get a back test of that as resistance, but just not today. It looks like you're coming on down to that 200-day simple moving average, pretty much in line with the demand line, with the anchor points 1 from the beginning of the year, anchor point 2, March 10th, and soon to be August tested. I think that's the test that is upon us. And once or if there is not enough demand to keep the price propped above that demand line in 200-day simple moving average, your next horizontal line support resistance would be the low from May 12th of last year, the peak from August of last year. Hold on, audio's fuzzy. What the? Yeah, I got the 8-bit on. God dang, why do I have the 8-bit on? I guess I've been gone 2 weeks roughly from here. So yeah, 80s, 90s stream. God, it was going so well too. The stream's ruined. It's already over, dude. Just wrap it up. Come back tomorrow. Give another shot. What's up, Alec? Thanks for the BTC 5 and Divergent Pariah. Thank you for the 420. Certainly is. Thank you, dude. In your first super chat ever. Thank you, dude. Wow. I'm in the chat for firsts. Wow. So this is the whole thing, right? Bitcoin's been in an uptrend since the beginning of the year. But being so close to a key inflection point, in fact, rejecting an inflection point that had to be broken for the second time and being where it is, it just it was not a good spot for a strategic fresh long. It just can't be on any chart, on any asset, on any market when those things happen. So in fact, all that was happening was unfortunately up thrust and then back test of up thrust, right? That 30K, 31K level that has been a swing low one time, or actually 2 times, once from January 2021, then May of 2021. That was regarded as resistance. So there was some decent price action that would declare, it's confirmed, less market participants than before, and resistance is resistance for sure. And so you've rolled over from there. It's always about confirmation. It's always about those second highs, second lows, not the first, the second. And that's what has, it seems like, gotten us in this situation. Stock market not doing too well today either. But we can look at the stock market in a minute. It is power hour, so hold on. Let me play it.
It's time for power hour.
You know it, man. But let's look at Ethereum and a couple other crypto, and we'll go straight into stonks. Okay. Unfortunately for Ethereum, bad news here. I know people are starting to get optimistic some reason for Ethereum to Bitcoin. I know that wedge, but the failed breakout of the wedge again, and Wyckoff distribution still extremely active. I wouldn't get your hopes up, because with 1744 breaks, that's it till 1420. And I'm talking about historical ice lines. Look at the price action that normally occurs when the asset cannot hold 1740. 1420 is the level. So much. I mean, it's just like, this is a thin order book area. Limited liquidity between 1744 and 1420. So you're below the 200-day moving average. You've broken the demand line that was way more. It was actually more pronounced than the Bitcoin one. Bitcoin has 2 touches, anchor points, right? This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different touches, and that was broken. So, and unfortunately, right? The up thrust, the back test of up thrust, and it seems like the confirmation that level from history, $2,000, is resistance. That sucks. Okay, so you do not want to really, I mean, unless it's some sort of bear trap. 1744 is the big one, man, and you're below it right now, intraday, down 3.73%. This is not a good technical thing. This is bad, right? This is bearish. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's like 1730, 1740, whatever. It's just this little level right here, this swing low, where you just know it's been defended and it's not being defended really right now. It's just at it, okay? So probably need some more follow through. And until you take out the previous low, you're still in the uptrend. Still uptrending until it's, but you have put in multiple lower highs now. So if you put in a lower low now, then it's all but confirmed that the trend's reversing. So Ethereum falling below 1650, I would say you're reversing your trend. Think you got enough data or information at that point to determine that, right? The highest high of the run, and then a lower high, and then a right, and then a lower low, and then the same high. And then if you go lower low, that's the trend, right? You're trending that way. Okay, BNB. I like BNB because in a bad way, like in a, I like it technically because it was garbage and still is garbage. And someone will be like, dude, this is like the confirmation low. No, it's not. The context, you can't forget the context. The buyers had this unlimited time. They had an effing year to break a key resistance and go rival the previous highs. They failed. Plus, fundamentally, it's like, I don't know how this asset doesn't eventually get nuked to 40, because they're completely getting extracted or excommunicated from the West. The rich places, they're not able to really do it. And what about Tether today getting banned or getting knocked off, right? Canada, like Canada's like not letting US or Coinbase. It's like Coinbase Canada is now like delisting US dollar Tether, which is a BNB thing, right? So that's their stable coin, whatever. Okay, these things are just really bad for BNB. Sure, of course, you can't. I mean, you cannot assume that buyers won't defend it, because they could and they have. But the price action that preceded these recent tests is very bearish. So, I mean, you want to know the bear flags measure move. If we want to do it, just from kind of like where the markdown began to the candle close there being conservative. And then even if we're talking about the top of the flag, I mean, if the measure moves achieved here, bye-bye BNB, because there's no support at 179. Well, just about. Like, oh, let's just say the measured move is the third target of the short trade setup that was posted back in April, May. All right, that is the target for this flag if it's truly going to perform with 100% measure move. $183. We need to pull that back up so you can see it, because so much time goes by, people forget, they lose sight of what we're talking about, what I'm talking about. Okay, gosh dang, hold on. Let me see if I can make it happen like this. Maybe not. No, I don't think I can. Oh, well, yeah. So, right, the short, right, 1, 2, 3 failures at the top, low risk. Look at that third failed attempt, the slightly higher high, that shortening of thrust behavior with the bearish divergence on the MAC is undeniable, right? Undeniable. Low risk, even if it failed. And here you are, right? 1 and 2 have been achieved. Now we're waiting on number 3. Number 3 being right there. It's a 1272 fib extension, but it's confluent with that 183 low from June of last year. So you're just waiting, right? Waiting for lower prices on what is now probably a joke. Okay. How crazy is it though that like the measure move of the bear flag that didn't exist is the third target of the trade set? That's crazy, man. Well, okay. So just no more time on that. Screwed. XRP, enjoy getting destroyed, right? Where, hey man, I wanted to buy after the news. Well, you lose. It seems like coming down for a 54-cent test, a few more pennies, and you'll be there. And then 50 cents after that, ice line from history. Hopefully it just makes another higher low. It is uptrending despite the nasty pullback. Still higher highs, higher lows until that changes, until you take out the low of 45 cents, 46 cents. That's it. Now let's go to total. I missed Jonathan. Did anyone miss Jonathan? He's all grown up now. John, what do you think about the yields? We're gonna look at the yields too, hitting the highest levels in a long, long time. What about it?
I like turtles.
Also, appropriately,
There's bears out here.
here's your total. As you can see, the level from history tested once and failed, then twice, 2 times. So up here, it is high risk inherently. It's just gonna be high risk. And this is why, because your upside is limited until that level is broken for real, and your downside is maximum. Huge downside potential at these levels. And so you've broken the 200-day moving average and clearly broken the the inflection zone's bottom, right? That's it. I mean, just huge downside potential. 803 billion. Of course, a higher low could get put in. Of course. But you've already put in a lower high. And that lower high is happening at a magical area, a very real inflection point from history. Okay, so you can't be surprised. This was not a level for fresh longs on total itself. Just wasn't. And most altcoins looked like garbage. There were a handful of some that were okay, maybe. And then as of a few days ago, nah, just kidding. Levels collapsed, broken. Shiba Inu, yes, I'm saying Shiba was fine, and it ran up 40% from the entry of the setup, and then it's gone now. Not quite. I mean, we'll look at it real quick. Let me get this thing up. Let's see. So here's Shiba, destroyed, right, from its high. Man, God, FOMO is brutal, right? Imagine buying at that top. You'd be down 25%. Yeah, unfortunately, unable to break the 200-day moving average. Is right back at this old sell wall. Might be a buy wall now. Flip into support and still making higher lows. So, I mean, really no big deal if you care about technicals, I gotta just hit space bar with my freaking knuckle. Sorry. What the? Right, but still, I mean, just lately making if it pivoted here, it'd be a higher low than all the other lows since the bottom, right? So it's not over or anything. It's just a pretty big pullback after, it's not just the macro and Bitcoin dumping. It's a sell the news event with Shiba Inu and really being traveling and all that. I didn't even know it was released yesterday. And so people are like, Shiba's dumping because of this. And it's like, wait a second. So you're telling me that Bitcoin and the whole crypto market follows Shiba? And they're like, yeah, dude, of course. I don't think so, man. I think it's just kind of double whammy. All right, that's okay. So getting the Shiba out of the way. And do we really want to spend any more time on crypto? Really, dude? I mean, they're all down, but not too bad, Oh, you want to see KuCoin? Talk about exchanges. This is why you don't own any crypto exchanges that are legacy. Look at KuCoin in a world of its own right now, breaking key supports, key little levels, and depending on where you look at it, peaks from 2021, valleys from 2021. I mean, this is multi-year lows, over 2-year lows now on KuCoin token. And it is a long way down, very similar to BNB in terms of if a couple levels break, it's done. I mean, look what you're breaking right now. There's this peak from 2018. I don't know. Then there's this scam wick. Okay, do we look at which one do we regard? Think maybe that it was created there and then correlated there. You're just right at this level. You break that, man. This is how much air is left in the bubble. Right? You see that? The straight line up, twig and thatch. Once these last little levels get taken out, it's going to be a straight line down and 186. So you're at $5 now. The price very well could be seeing $1.86 in time, meaning it loses half its value again. Only thing that happens, right? Look, a bullish butterfly pattern completes at a 1618 and rallies, but since it's a long extended bear trend, only a lower high develops, and then a head and shoulders, slanted head and shoulders pattern develops, and guess what? Not just is reliable, but then outperforms. That's what bear market stuff does, right? When an asset is in a bear trend and a bearish pattern presents itself, it will be
reliable oftentimes, and it will oftentimes outperform. This was amazing performance from a head and shoulder, slant head and shoulders. Okay. Really only going to peaks from history and testing them as resistance, lower high, and then rolling over again. So, okay. Par for the course. Gross. Let's go to the SPY. It's power hour for the stock market, man. Down 0.72%. I mean, it's index fund, so you never got to that 886, but you did get to a 786 with a 618 on B. So the cipher people out there would say it is a cipher. Yeah, it meets the criteria of the bearish cipher. The 786 was confluent with 2021 peak. All right. Remember the target. What was it in days we've been looking at? Anything below 454 equals 420 to 426. That's it. That's where the price goes to based on history. That's where we'll probably go again. You're well on the way. Heart line of the channel. Really nice touches on the channel. You broke the heart line today. So that is it. Target 420, 426. All right. Bottom of the channel is a little lower at like 418, 417. Okay. Par for the course. We had audio check. We okay? Who says I'm bear? Like, dude. Okay. Me. All right. So this is people in the chat. All right. This is like what. I mean, are you so small-minded that you don't understand what I'm talking about? I'm like literally breaking down the things that are happening to key levels from history, and all you have to say is I'm bearish. I'm bearish. Or I'm looking at pieces of data from history and just telling you about them that are happening. That's it. I don't understand. Like, why are you so polarized? It's hyperbolic. So look, man, like a level, Dow Jones 35.6 tested, and you couldn't break it, and you've broken all these peaks. You're below all of them now. Each one, May of 2021, August 2021, all everything, and then 2022, you're below all of them. All right, so now you're headed back down to 34.280 probably, like that. Maybe like 34.280 gets back to. There's a lot of peaks and valleys, aren't there? But you can look at the beginning where they are, and that's probably where you're headed.
Been watching for a few years now. Could you have a look at $RLB, roll Bitcoin? It randomly jumped up pretty high.
Well, you know what I love about random? I love coin flips, right? That's Vegas. So you're talking about a Vegas thing happened. We will look. Thank you for the pounds. Thanks, G-Dog. I know about the Tolkien coin like came out today. I bought like a little thing of the mints of the coins. I think you did. All right, so I mean, just heading on. I think you're headed down. That's a good target, 33.7 right there. 200-day moving average and a level from history where there have been reversals or back tests or whatever. So that's it. Okay. Better get those coins while you can. They're going to outlaw them. They're going to ban them. All of a sudden, like, it'll be like the World Economic Forum that owns all the media, right? Like, they just control it. Neo-communists. They're just going to be like, somehow, hey, if you like actual physical fiat currency, like, right, cash, you're an extremist. Oh my God. Like, they'll do it. They do it to everything, right? It's racist to be on time for work. Everything, man. All right, so NASDAQ, if you can't, it's either 14K or 13K, right? Those are the inflection points. Okay, failure to break 14K equals, all right, probably 13K. Heading on down to 13K. Right now, we're at session lows. Right now, the lowest lows of the day, down 1.25%, and 13K. All right, that's it. There was, I mean, come on, like, the MACD histogram. A high, the higher high, the higher high, the slightly higher high. And then this highest high is at the inflection point and failed. It broke out, but failed. Right? It's not about the breakout. It's about the follow through. There was no follow through. You're right back below 14K and you're on your way to 13K. Lowest level or the highest level of negative momentum on the NASDAQ composite since September 26, 2022. So the highest level of negative momentum on the NASDAQ today of 2023. IWM that has just really been neutral because no higher highs, but higher lows. But heading on down to the 200 moving average, probably 178, quite possibly 173, 178. Man, if you're seeing 170 again, what does that mean? That has to be so bad, so bearish, right? This bearish divergence was up there. It's been identified. It's been talked about on stream. Don't know if it's going to play out. Okay, just declaring what exists. Can't believe you don't understand reality. I can't. If you're like, okay, he identified something that's in a textbook that's there. Bearish divergence implies reversal. I identify it, and then you're like, Mitch is bearish. It's going to go up next. It's like how are you vicariously narcissistic? None of this has anything to do with me, man. The market doesn't inverse me or go with me. There are variables that exist that create marginal probability increases, okay, of a particular outcome. All right, there's your index funds, okay? Yeah, and big tech, kind of leading the way in the drawdown today. Netflix, how about Netflix down 3+%? Remember the head and shoulders? I posted a chart yesterday. Grown man was asking about, it's like, is that head and shoulder? Yeah, it looks like it, but it's more than that. When I was looking at this in Houston on stream, I think someone like requested it. It was like, you can look at it head and shoulders. You can also look at like it's in an uptrend and it was a failed breakout of the uptrend. When you get failed breakouts, you can whipsaw to the bottom. You could probably overshoot the bottom of the trend line. So the target's really like 350, 355 whenever you get there. And yeah, there was like really nasty bearish divergence, but it was a gap down on earnings. So working on this is a bearish Marabazoo, and you'll have your lowest daily candle close on Netflix today since June 7th. If you look left at levels, 386 is your next support resistance. 386 needs to be tested. It's never been tested since rebroken, right? When market participants broke it on a gap, there's an unfilled gap too. Very subtle, 380, just below that. So that's your target. That's where you're headed. This is what happens when you break these channels a lot of times. They're out, they maybe stay out for a little bit, but they eventually fall right back into the channel and head the next way to the bottom of the channel. So nothing really surprising here. I'm still biased though. Bias. Yeah, dude, I'm biased. Yeah, go learn to read a chart, dude. Go read a chart. Yeah, I'm the one that says I don't make calls or predictions, but I'm biased. Yeah, dude. Keep talking in your delusions. No one cares. Random guys in chat just talking crap. Okay, Tesla down 3%. Look how beautiful this was. It was like, look at this.
Is that a joint? Is that a joint?
Probably can't because stock. Right?
You see Elon right there? What the? I saw the Doge one in Houston, but that's my first Elon. So look, so there's this high from 2021. It's there. It's been there. It was regarded and rejected twice before melting down. But guess what? It was never back tested when it broke that second time in September of 2022. But now it has been regarded and confirmed resistance again. And look at that follow through. And look what preceded it, really. That is a perfect piercing line. I know earnings came after. Well, no, the day of, okay, I think it was after hours. Yeah. So the piercing line reversal at the resistance, just another great example of like where you're looking for Japanese candlesticks to occur or develop. And man, the follow through of that has been nothing short of impeccable. It's just amazing. Look at the bearish divergence that was there too. You look for bearish divergence at inflection points, Japanese candlestick reversals at inflection points, and you can see what happens. You're heading right down to the next level. That's 205, 209. Beautiful. Let's look at Apple continuing to sell off after the bad earnings. And look at the demand. When the demand line broke, This one was pretty simple, right? I guess they were just like, okay, when the demand line breaks, we're out, we're done, and it's been dumping. It broke 182, the previous all-time high from December 2021. You were below like all of these peaks too. You're below them all. So there is not any target left on Apple until 156. That is it. Maybe 200-day moving average. But if we're just talking about inflection points, looking one way, looking left, that's it. So there's still, if it actually gets to that level, there's another 10% downside on Apple, and there's no other argument. Crazy. Okay, this is the market driver. Remember, it was 3 trillion. I know it's now not 3 trillion in market cap because of this drawdown, and looks like it's going to continue to correct. And that makes sense. It's good. Things like this have to stop eventually. Dude, we're talking about an entire year of not 123% retrace. It's a joke. Hold on, dude. I don't like... Okay, let's see. Apple, then let's go to Amazon. That, remember, hey, dude, it was doing real well. But the gap fill looks like it's coming. I mean, 144.50 was like the second target of the trade setup. Second. Never quite hit it. You're drawn down. Target, I would think, for a gap fill. Probably like 130. So you got about $4 more downside. That's it. Now, if you're talking about the levels looking left, maybe 123. Yeah, I'd say 123 from here, if besides the gap. So yeah, just been going, but just a few down days in a row. Okay, no big deal on this one. Google, hanging tough, man. All right, remember, 2 of the 3 was hit. The last target's 143. Kind of crazy that it's up 1% today, yeah? Kind of crazy. Yeah, someone could argue it's diverging some, but no flush yet. No selling pressure has come in on this one. Okay. Okay, well, look at the big 4. There are the big 4. Oh my God. Yeah, a couple on the set, awful. Okay. And then let's go to NVIDIA. Not having a good day today. It was about time. I mean, like, really, who cares? I mean, if you look at like the 60-minute or the 4 hours, this is classic distribution. Some aggressive distribution. 1, 2, 3, right? And then 2 lows, right? A low, then a lower low. I mean, look, dude, anyone buying at this level, it doesn't matter if it keeps going, you're insane. To like take fresh longs now is absolute insanity. You're just like, I'm going to inverse everything that anyone knows about these markets and how you perceive value and premium. You long now, it's insane. Okay, so nearing a 1.618 fib extension, the all-time one, the big one. The bearish divergence staring you in your effing face. It's there. It's on both oscillators. This is where reversals happen. But again, it's NVIDIA. It's the AI. It's the one to rule the world. It is the one, right? It is the one with Apple. So yes, of course it could keep going. I'm just telling you, you keep trying to take fresh longs, playing numbers game, you're going to get obliterated. Right? You want to take low risk, right? Hey man, we've identified a momentum shifting structure. And on the right shoulder of that inverse head and shoulders, it's a formal bullish back test from September 2020. You can see it. Okay, understandable. Like there's a reason and an argument for maybe strategizing an entry and a stop loss below those levels, whatever. But up here, you have nothing. The only argument is downside because of the buyer exhaustion. And you're at these deep fib extensions. But yeah, again, like I'm not saying like, oh, go short. I'm just telling you, right? You're staring into the face of exhaustion.
Please. I hope this falls off of the $11 cliff. Pray for a strike for my puts. Clinking oil cans. 39.70000 XRP.
So Chevy, I gotta change that, man. Annoying German accent, right? Well, look, thank you, dude. Appreciate it. All right, so NVIDIA, but then like there's AMD, little brother, and
This one doing some really good things if you like being bearish, okay? The fact that there is this key level from history, you cannot deny it is there. It was a peak from 2021 and a couple times in 2022. That was upthrusted through the act of the price breaking through a resistance, but spending almost no time above it and then immediately falling back below it. And then you get the upthrust back tests, 2 of them, the confirmation high, and it happens to be like the top of it was tested first at the inflection zone, then the second one was the bottom of the inflection zone. I mean, that's really bearish price action. I don't care what happens next. That's just not good price action. And look at you today, some follow through, and you're finally breaking this low from June. Lowest daily candle close upon us in 3 minutes since May 17th. So $97 seems like the next target here. This is good. This is right. It's good because it's TA, and it's like, I mean, I don't care if it's like this, right? If you get an asset that the sellers break support, oh my God, it's all over, but they can't produce any follow through, and the buyers immediately recapture the level, and then they confirm the old ice line as support not once but then twice with a higher low. That's a signal for a long. You get that? So it doesn't matter what way we're looking at it. He's biased. No, man, I'm not. I'm biased to what the price action tells us. Doesn't effing matter. You're biased. Your name has XRP in it. You're biased. You're a moon boy. Is my name Crypto Mitch? Nah, it's not. TA, man. TA with Mitch Ray. Wow.
Thanks for telling us to buy Dash, ZEC, Band, KSM, before they nuked. Great DA, not 0.1.
Oh yeah, I told you. I tell people all the time what to do, right? Thanks for your money. Yeah, I tell people what to do. Okay, for instance, right? Zcash. There's a wedge. It is the basement. It's still the basement, dude. Still the basement. Look at that. Pays money to talk, right? Mental illness is here. They're mad, dude. You know what you could do? You could just stop watching the stream, because clearly you don't have the IQ to even understand, or aptitude to understand what I'm trying to do here, right? This thing's in a long downtrend, right? Lower highs, lower lows. In fact, all it did, talk about the up thrust back, look, one high, then the second high. Yes, the wedge, you broke out of the wedge, yeah. Please give me let me know what you mean by I told you to buy. I actually never tell anyone to buy anything or short anything. Okay. Look, that happened, and now you're at this level. Look, so currently this is what's happening, right? Like, people are too stupid to understand what's happening versus like what I'm saying, right? What's happening right now is this price is at a level from history. Do you see it? It's not me making it up. It's just there. 2019 and 20. Here's the price. If someone wanted to take a chance, they could. Right? Anytime an asset's at support. But the trend is garbage. It is. It is a garbage trend. Below the 200-day moving average. Look at the 200-day moving average, how it's down sloping.
Crypto Hodor, he's king of the north. Rune, sir.
What's up, yes, sir? Thank you, dude. Yeah, well, look at that. Hodor. I don't know who Hodor. Hold the door. Yep. Crypto holder. Crypto hoarder. Yep. So you understand, like, the difference. Okay. So you have a downtrend, but an asset's at support. So the asset very well may not hold because it's a Beanie Baby. When have I ever said these things aren't Beanie Baby scams? Right? Zcash is a scam. It's a joke. Like everything else in crypto except maybe Bitcoin and a couple others that Monero. Okay. But these are joke scams. And we're at really tight liquidity market conditions. Debt is not cheap anymore. So there's a real good chance. And the war on crypto, I'm talking about the like Gensler, Operation Chokehold, all that. I mean, there's a good chance this doesn't hold, but it could, because I don't make assumptions that an asset will hold a support from history. I just tell you that it's there. It's there, right? But the low IQ guy who he tips me anonymously because he's a coward. Come to my place. Come say that in my face. You wouldn't. You're a scared little scrub, dude. Yeah, keep tipping anonymously. Yeah, look. What do you want from me? Dash didn't hold support. Dash was a scam. Dash is a scam. Didn't hold support. That's it. Is this the one? No, I think I looked at another one. Oh, and then banned. I mean, if you watch the stream, you know, like the most recent things to happen. Saying this doesn't look good. This looks awful. And then it broke support. Look, it's the low from March 2020. Buyers were holding on to that for a minute. It's like, okay, you could have tried, but the trend's awful. The most recent discernible event on the chart was the lowest low of the entire downtrend. That's not indicative of an uptrend or good market conditions to be taken longs. It never was and never will be. So you can take shots in nasty bear trends if you want, but guess what? Chances are that it's not going to work out. It's going to perform bad if it does pivot, and eventually will roll over to make lower lows later. And that looks like what Dash is doing. Crazy, man. Crazy. It's like literally in one ear, out the other. Like 99% of cryptos are scams and they're in bear trends. They look terrible technically and awful, but there are a couple that look kind of okay-ish, whatever. They're at supports where someone could set a stop loss just below the support if they wanted to enter. But it's like compared to, I mean, why would you want to own an asset that's a scam when at least you got on the stock market, hey, they got to report earnings, right? They got to report their revenue, you know, what they're doing all the time. They got to make filings. Oh, they got a good and service product that works. Okay, they mass produce it. People buy it and then they use it. And like, wow, you know, crypto, nothing exists on this market like that. And I'll keep saying that on the way up and down. Doesn't matter. They're scams. Bitcoin's cool. Bitcoin's not what I would consider crypto. It's its own thing. Please tell me where I was like, yeah, VeChain. VeChain's good, dude. VeChain. I mean, I think this will probably eventually play out. Eventually see less than a penny. These are not done at all. Crazy. It's like, yep. I don't even make predictions, dude. It's like crazy. I word it in such a way that probably better than anyone on the internet about Mark Douglas principles, about not, and Polity Web. Right? I articulate it. I abide by their principles. Where I don't even act like I know where an asset's going, but you still have a low IQ idiot like who will pay me money to say whatever, wrong, blah, 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 wrong. Okay, so we could continue back on stock. See what I'm saying? Like these low IQ people are just stuck on crypto scams. It's like, dude, we were looking at stocks, man. We looked at crypto a little bit at the beginning to overview of the market, and we're just looking through stocks, and it's just like, oh, I got to mouth breathe and bring up crypto, dude. Guarantee you that guy never cared about charts until crypto. He probably still doesn't care, obviously. So let's see. Do we have we can get the request on the way, you know? Let's see. RLB. Rollbit. See, it's like, I don't know. I appreciate the contribution. You're here first. But still, me saying that's a scam, and then even talking about it being okay, it made a higher high, like, and a higher low. Someone come back and be like, you're wrong when it collapses to zero. It's your fault. Ugh. Well, like, here's a demand line. Probably in the 4 hour, I don't know, maybe divergence something, but you wouldn't touch this ever. I mean, I don't think. I don't know why, man. At least 12 cents to back test the high from 2023. And if that doesn't work, then if that doesn't hold up, which who cares, this roll bit, then you're looking at like 9.7 cents after that, the demand line. First level of negative momentum you've seen since August 5th. Dude, again, someone paid $15 plus $19 to see this. I'm going to do my best to try to look at it. Okay, 9.5, 9.6 cents or 12 cents next. So there's way more downside, meaning like before it sees the next level, you got another 20% downside, and then it can go all the way down to 35% downside potential. So that's it. Okay, Look at that. Appreciate it. XE Crypto. Appreciate it. Thanks again, Chevy guy. Ford. He wants to look at Ford. That, yeah, man, looking real bad. I mean, it's been just dumping, dude. After it broke out, too, of that descending triangle. Crazy. Yeah, here's Ford. What are you asking here? You want to look at the weekly, right? To where, so this almost reminds me of Binance coin in a lot of ways, where you just, right, the big drawdown, and then just sideways after the massive drawdown over the course of a year, over a year. And now you're heading on back down to the same freaking demand line that was back tested and held multiple times with confirmation. Everything was good, divergence and a rally, but that was a pretty garbage rally. I mean, heading back down, I mean, maybe a higher low gets put in, but yeah, it's starting to look pretty ugly here. You're on the other side of the fence, right? Look, this was the blow off top, right? The bottom was the bullish Gartley that was a decade long. It was insane. One of the best Gartleys I've ever seen in my life, the largest ones. Look at the rally off of that. Hits 24.45, a historic level, and then blow off top. And so after the blow off top, you began finally to react. Your first attempted rally started in July last year. And what happened? They pushed the price to just formally backtest another level from history as resistance. Yikes. So you confirmed distribution, way less people than before, than the top in January 2022. But also the 200-day moving average was rejected with the ice line. So then you come back down and buyers just keep the level propped up and then one squeeze. But just because you make a slightly higher high than the previous highs, all three of these highs are lower than this high, which is garbage. Just all three less market participants over all this time. So if you're heading back down this level, I would think like probably bad. I mean, you think that's terrible price action, and 1120 might not hold this time coming up. So that's what I think. I think it's not good right now. But you want to look at the weekly, we can do that, sure. We can do it, man.
Market meltdown is just beginning. Boomers will continue to sell their kids and grandkids into slavery just to keep their standard of living. Time to live off of Uncle Sam's riskless T-share Ponzi bonds. R.I.P.
Greg P, thank you, man. I don't know if they inject more liquidity by printing more money, they could probably keep it going a little bit longer. It's just, dude, the inflation, it's so bad right now. We're already in this effed up thing. Like it's all broken, right? You can't work hard anymore to make enough money to get ahead. You can only work hard and then work harder than you possibly could to just keep up. And then like for a lot of people, that's not even enough. So yeah, it's bad. We're in a really bad economic situation. You know, people like outside of TA and stuff, it's awful. This is Agenda 2030, though. The powers that be in the world want this to happen, and they have all the power. The shadow governments are real, man. You don't have to believe it. You could think that's a conspiracy. It's like they talk about it. Like the shadow government, that's like the World Economic Forum, right? The WFA, right? They rule the world. They control the governments, and this is what they want. So you don't have to believe. I don't care. So look, I mean, this right here on the weekly looks really, really bad. It looks like you're going to 883 next. I'm saying like 1080 to test the low again because it's so many times been tested. But dude, the weekly looks like you're confirming. You're really confirming it's over at this point. It's almost like you have this butterfly, this really, really like bearish wave structure, 886. You know about the 886, then the lower high on C. I mean, 1272 minimum. This is an 886, meaning actually a 1618. Good God. I mean, you have like that going on. It's really bad. This is not something you want to long ever. If it looks like this on the weekly, you don't want to long stuff like this. And you're following your break. Look, you shouldn't be getting this many opportunities at the 200-week moving average, I don't think. And this might have all but sealed it this week if it keeps going. Yeah, dude, I would not own Ford the way it looks technically, but You do your thing, man. Again, I've never told anyone what to buy and what to sell. Ever. All I do is look at the technicals, and that is a determination if it's like decent for a low risk entry with this. You put your stop loss there. Oh, wait, if you're too stupid to understand, you would never put a stop loss. You would just long something blindly and then not set up a stop loss immediately after you take the long. Yeah, you're stupid. Yeah, that's a stupid tax. Like, you don't go long and not set up a stop loss. You just don't. If you're stupid, you do that. If you're stupid, you don't set up a stop loss after you take a long. I'll just say it the rest of the stream. I'll just on repeat, just say that. You're stupid if you take a long and you don't set up a stop loss immediately after you take the long. You're stupid. Yeah. And it's a stupid tax, the amount of money you lose beyond the stop loss. That's the stupid tax. Okay, so the next one.
ETF. Thoughts about current bonds/yields situation. Thanks, sir. Still learning and appreciate your time.
I mean, bonds are collapsing because the yields are going up, right? So it's, when there's a new issuance, why would people buy the old bond when you could just get a new bond that gets you a better yield? So they're just continuing to collapse, and this is like how all the regional banks are going to break. What we're seeing in March, the March thing happened and it was over. And then the Fed's like, nah, we're going to put $500 billion on our balance sheet again. And that's half of what they took off the balance sheet last year in 52 weeks. They did that in 2 weeks. They added that. And that is the only reason why the market recovered. Only reason. So now we're like beginning to get down to those levels. The banks, dude. So they will have to eventually intervene again like they did in March if you want to keep the prices propped up. But if they don't do anything, the prices will eventually collapse again, especially in the regionals, because of this bond and yield situation. Because they bought a crap load of bonds at way lower prices than you could even think the past year. And that they continue to plummet in value. So, and if people, again, like what was happening with the bank runs, people were taking their money out, so they needed liquidity, so they would have to sell their bonds at a loss to get liquidity to give to the customers trying to get their cash out. A bank run. So we'll look at it, dude. I'm just talking about it, but Rune, yeah. Ruin, man. Wow. I mean, oh my God, it pumped, dude. No rhyme or reason, really. It just did, I mean, look, low. Here's your lowest low. Here's your lower high, lower low, lower high, slightly higher low. But then lower high, then lower low, then probably lower high. I mean, you're downtrending. So you want to be the one to try to, I mean, there was an M shape. It was like a butterfly that reacted and reversed. Yeah, it's above 143. I just don't really care. Like, I don't know how you look at this stuff and you want to long it. I mean, they've killed crypto for, I mean, they have. I mean, their whole purpose, like, it's, the trend's not your friend. It's already pumped. So what do you want me to do here? I mean, is there something you were saying on it? Any King of the North is Crypto Hodor? Rune, sir. All right, here's Rune. I again, like, lower highs than the previous high. So therefore, you're near like those deep retraces where, this is where it probably would reverse. I look at this and I'm like, there's nothing we could do to strategize here. I'm just not concerned. Like, crypto is so destroyed anyway. Like, shorting down here is kind of insane too. It's like, it's like at those magic 90% retraces, 95% retraces from the bottom. I just don't care.
Hey Mitch, mind taking a look at OPK? Opco Health. Thanks.
I mean, we can, sure, if you want. Yeah, absolutely, Goombas. Thank you, dude. Sure. Okay, the asset in a bear trend rallied 75% in less than 2 weeks. Immediately, it's hands off. Nope, I don't care. I'm not going to long something that's up 75% in 2 weeks. I'm not longing it ever. Sorry. You're not going to make me. You're not going to make me act like it's some sort of good thing to do. Like, right? This is what happens. Like, someone will be like, okay, they requested, they paid me $15. And it's like, I'll talk about it a little bit more. And then people will be like, you told me to buy, man. Ugh. And it's like, nope, not entertaining it. We're just going to move on. Screw Rune. I don't care what it does next. It's not true trading. It's not. You long now's absolute gambling. But go to the casino, you'll get free drinks and probably pretty girls to bring you those drinks. But you got to tip them. Make sure you tip them. IEF. Anything to be bullish on? Dude, again, the word bullish and bearish, stop using those words. Are there assets that are at key inflection points from history that are giving us indicators at those levels? Yeah, there are some. Does it mean I'm bullish? Not necessarily, because what happens to the macro collapses because all the index funds have run up 88% with no retraces in 7 months. Is that bullish? Not really. But yeah, there are assets at levels where one could strategize an entry and a stop loss and possibly equity will take profits. But if there's not enough liquidity in the system, never going to happen. The hyperbole, I think it's like people have been brainwashed to think bearish, bullish, always. There's always a bullish, bearish. It's like, it's not even, those words are Rudy poo. At least here, Rudy poo. All right, the IEF, this is the 7 to 10 year treasury bond. Yeah, awful. Let's go to the weekly. It's like crypto Twitter did a real number on y'all. Y'all are psycho. Lost it, man. So there's a peak here from 2009, but yeah, chances are you'll probably go test this 2003, 2009 level. I mean, that, right? Yeah, it's like a little zone there. Like look at the price action you're seeing. 2002, 2003, 2004, I mean, almost 2005, 2009, 2010. I mean, that's probably, the big one. I mean, because you got like a couple times from the 2003 peak. I mean, sure, always could hold up here. Remember, the trend is bearish. The trend is bearish because, look, the downtrend. Excuse me, not use the word bearish. The downtrend. It is in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows consecutively. Okay? You just put in another lower high, the lowest high of the entire downtrend, and now you're rolling over again. And there could be a confirmation low, right? First time, no knows. Second time, everyone knows. But the fact, looking at the oscillators doesn't look anything like it's done. Looks like it's about to get lower, about to leg lower. In fact, there was probably some sort of like rising wedge or bear flag or bearish consolidation structure. It's like a flag. It's like a bear flag. Okay. So, I mean, you're thinking lower prices. Interest rates are really high, and I think like the percentage chance of another rate hike this year went up to like 38-40% now. So $90 first and then 87, 88 after that. And we're just talking about levels looking left. You're kind of at one a little, it's just one peak, not a big deal. Doesn't really look good, okay? At all. But then flip the chart, aka go to the yields and understand that 1 day, 1 hour away from the highest weekly candle close since November of 2007. Broke resistance too. I mean, you talking about levels, already broken here. Key levels, man. Look at this. I mean, the breakout and the back test, it was like created there. 1960. You've broken a 1960 support resistance. And then, it all correlated again later in 2004 and then became resistance in 2009. You're above this major level. And so the target's been this. Above that level, if it's real, 5.182%. That's the next level. Good luck. I mean, it was almost like bullish consolidation because you're in an uptrend and it's like a slightly down sloping resistance or slightly down sloping consolidation structure. And now you've broken out. There's been a breakout of it. Okay. So the local consolidation structure, as well as an ice line from 1960, rebroken, right? You broke it in October, but there was no follow through and immediately came right back below it. But now you're back out again. Oh God. You're not, oh, the thing is the RSI is at 67. It's not overbought. Look what happens at these peaks when things actually pull back on the US 10-year yield, right? March 2021, May 2022, October 2022. It's going up to like 80 almost, and this is at 67, and it broke out. It broke technical levels. So you tell me, man. I mean, that's so just sit you waiting for these when to buy some T-bonds, right? If you keep waiting, my God. The only way to beat high inflation is high living. Well, you know, remember like they've done like polls on like Zoomers, and Zoomers are like, instead of saving for retirement, they just want to experience things. That's how bad it is. Everyone's so demoralized, which was the whole point of all this stuff happening. Complete demoralization of multiple generations. Ideological subversion by the Soviets and the KGB. It's been going on since the 20s. And it's now blossoming. And the crisis trigger was COVID. Mail-in voting. Okay, and you get it. And this is where we are. So we've got Bitcoin not holding up very well. It's, you know, kind of hit a low of like 27,682. Not really. Yeah, it's not good right now. OPK, the next one. Tesla after hours still slipping. Yeah, dude, again, there's levels. It could not break one level. In fact, regarded as resistance, and it's headed to the next level. It's not really a big deal. It's not crazy. It's not making calls. It's just the way things are. OPK. I mean, is that basement? It's at the basement, you know. OPKO, Opco Health Services, down 2.79% today. He's asking because it's like, hey, is that a double bottom? Maybe. I mean, it hasn't spent much time off that 99-cent level. I mean, look, from 2004 and 2009. Maybe it's just like a little zone here. Trend's not really your friend. Again, look, so this will be like me looking at an S coin. Okay, there's an S coin that's hitting a low from 2017, 2016, right? Like the crazy psycho person. All I'm doing is being like, yeah, you're at a level and you're holding it for the second time. The buyers are doing that, not me, right? I'm not making a call. I'm not bearish, bullish. I'm just saying, look, right? You can't argue either because it just exists looking left. And really, like, until you make a higher high and a higher low, you're in a downtrend. And so this thing is in a downtrend, even with a second low here at a support from 2004 and 2009. But it's actually below the first low. It's actually, good God, rejecting or regarding the 1997 low as resistance. So it's not above that. I mean, that's where you think you could get a little bit more optimistic or comfortable to see the asset break that level, but it has only regarded it as resistance. That's it. I want you to know that this asset never makes money, ever. That's not a good start, right? An asset never making money, you know? I'll tell you, above $2, history tells us that it is probable of doubling in price. But you're not above $2, are you? No. Yeah, it's like an M shape. Okay, 100% M shape. A lower high M shape. What? Yeah, no textbook harmonic. It's just an M shape, informal M shape. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to do. And have your alert set up above $2.03, above that 1996 low. Sure. Zcash looks brilliant. No, it's just at a support. That's all that's happening. It's in a downtrend at support. It's lost all its value. It broke out of the wedge. But that's me making a call on something. Okay. Miserable downtrends, right? Miserable trends. They've been in miserable trends for a long time. And that it will take 100 plus days to reverse that. Minimum, probably 200 plus days. Okay, so that was the last request. I don't know, I've been live over an hour now. So if you're enjoying the live stream, like button above the sub. Let's look at some stuff. You know, we got storms over here. I want you to look at like Hilton, okay? Hilton Worldwide, you know, they do the hotels. That's so hot. Paris Hilton. Look what this. Look what happened today. And you draw or make an assessment yourself. All right, there is this old high from 2021, right? It's been regarded. It's been up thrusted through. That was the first time, so we'll respect it being the first. So then another time, February this year, rejected and rolled over. But now, for the second time, not once, but now twice, you have failed. And nice shooting star reversal and a massive bearish Marabazoo.
Time and lower prices.
A marish Marabazoo, whatever. What? Bearish. Time and lower prices. Yep. The ingredient. Yep. Time and lower prices. So you wonder here, I mean, that could be 3 failed attempts. That's like kind of the short setup on BNB, right? You can tell the weakness of the buyers. That price action is very real. Locally, when you hit resistance, you can't break it. The buyers run the price up again, slightly higher high, and they dump it, and then a slightly higher high again, just barely, if not the same. That's exhaustion on a chart. That's what it looks like. So a lot of rising wedges are created like that, and so it all happening at a key level. It's magic, you know. So let's see, is it over? Is like Hilton or the sellers just not going to let that level be broken for real this time? You're probably, I mean, your target's easily the demand line again. That I was kind of surprised that buyers defended that level in late June, but it looks like we'll be maybe retesting it soon. It's just the MACD histogram, the MACD, and then you go to the options and you take off the signal lines. The signal lines give far too many false readings. The crossovers and stuff, it's just not really necessary. And then the RSI on the bottom. It's just the relative strength index, standard. That's it, man. I want you to look at Starbucks here. You tell me if Starbucks isn't extremely bearish, okay? Extremely, for a few reasons. Your argument strengthened with the more reasons, the better. First reason, the ice line from 2019, the old all-time high, was broken again. But before that, what happened? You had your highest high. Look at the high, the higher high, the higher high, right? The third high, and then you dump on earnings. But then look, yep, there's enough demand at least to keep the price propped up. But maybe, so what happens? Price gets propped up because people need to offload their position before it continues down. So they are the ones that keep it propped up as they're offloading their position. And you can see there are just far less market participants involved than the highest high. And not once, you don't know. Second time confirms it. And so it's all happening at the 200-day moving average. So you're well below 200 now. You don't want to be below 200. You don't want to confirm distribution. And you don't want to break key levels, key peaks from 2019. Very, very bad. And so it's so bad because it's like left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder kind of. But the right shoulder, there's such lack of demand, right? Now it's confirmed there's such a lack of demand that the market participants, the buyers, are unable to get the price to even rival that left shoulder. So that's like extremely bearish price action, despite what happens. Very bearish stuff. So you would see like Starbucks up here after what? After doing what? Going on a rally from the highest high, the highest low, where you hit a 78% retrace, a 78% sale for shorts, right? 786, 886s. Okay. So, and then like, oh, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Not really. I don't really care. But like, it's bad, man. It's bad price action, no matter what the No matter what way you look at it, it's bearish price action lately, locally, here. Okay, lowest daily close since the beginning of July. And I'm thinking, yeah, $93, $97, $94. Below that is like $81. So this is what it looks like. This is what trend reversals look like. Stuff like this. Okay, below off top, high is high, and then a major, pretty violent dump, sell off, and then like the price will hit a support. There are buyers there to stop the selling so they can over time offload their position quietly over days and possibly weeks to not create a panic. To, you know, it's really, they're like stealth, man. They're trying to not let people really know what they're doing. Offloading a lot of shares, right? You can't do it in one block, right? You got to do it over time, maybe over a lot of accounts. And eventually, right, as they keep the price propped up, oh my God, the sign of weakness right there, breaking that support briefly before rallying one more time to grab some liquidity. And that now, right, eventually when they offload their position, they will then get rid of that buy wall. They will, you know, right, they'll no more demand there, and then a massive markdown to your lowest low, and then that trend reversal is all but confirmed. Yeah. This is the psychology, man, of the buyers and sellers. That's all I'm trying to do, is identify what these buyers and sellers are doing or thinking. Do you get me? Or is it just, oh, you told me go long, you told me go... You're like the anonymous guy's like one of the people from, I watched Idiocracy for the first time. I mean, like that, the way he tipped on stream, that's like, wow, dude, he must be from that era, 300 years in the future. He probably drinks Brando or whatever. Cause it's got electrolytes. You told me go long on Thirsty Cash. I'm gonna pay you money. To talk crap about you. Like, that's like low IQ, dude. Probably don't have the aptitude to even think about TA trading. Yeah, he wears Crocs, dude. Yep. So, right? I mean, that's pretty good. This is some, like, Starbucks right now is a very educational chart because of what it's doing. So let's see how it plays out. Have your alerts set up. You start hearing the beeps, you know, man, support's breaking for real and you're catching some follow through.
What's up, Mitch? Good stream, man.
Spin, dude. What day is it? Thursday? Make sure you haven't been traveling all over and stuff. Okay. Do I want to spin? Open up Pandora's box? Maybe. The chances of it hitting, though, after what I went through the last time we did the wheel spins and stuff, man. I'll do it for you, but I'm not playing. Like, if it lands on Chug, see, it didn't land on Chug, so I'm good. Thank you. Man. Okay. So there are others out there. So look at this, like WWE, in this extremely stupid uptrend, and it finally caught some follow through today. Finally, dude. It wasn't even when I posted it in Patreon, right? Today, like at everyone. So quadruple bearish divergence and hit the supply line of the rising wedge and failed to break it, right? You can see it like, oh, it's breaking it. No, it's, and so that is like the absolute lowest. If you're just talking about pattern recognition, pattern trading, the top, like and it's bearish and you're shorting, the resistance of the pattern is of course the lowest risk entry for the short ever. It just is. That's how it works, right? Buying, right? Shorting the top, right? Or longing the bottom. Of course they are, you know? So it's tough though. I mean, this is like all-time highs, right? Or is it? My God, yeah, it is. Okay, just making sure. All-time highs. So right up there. And then, you know, you could measure the move, the drawdown, $97, we could target, but you just think something's got to give, right? If it just continuously, you keep making these higher, and it's the whole thing, right? This exhaustion stuff, the high, the drawdown, the very real drawdown, the back test of old resistance as support, the old all-time high became support. That's awesome. But then a rally again, and you can see these are subtle tells from the sellers and buyers, right? They're just very weak, right? That's exhaustion, man. Pathetic. Slightly higher high or a big drawdown, a big reversal. But yeah, it's hard. You don't want to fight the trend. I know, I get that, but Whoops. I think we're back. Sorry. Yeah, I think my internet like went out for a second. We got storms here. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think all the power is on underground. But Bitcoin, though, setting up for its lowest levels. It's Tom Crown, man. Tom Crown's on the thumbnail. But apparently, when Tom Crown gets older, he's going to look like Jerome Powell or something. So maybe you'll overtake him. No, let's be real, dude. You won't be able to. Next Fed chair will be trans. Okay. And will be owned by the World Economic Forum. Like, if you don't like Jerome Powell, you're going to miss Jerome Powell. And you will see. Someone clip this. You will see when he steps down or whatever, resigns. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, about time, man. It's like, yeah. And then it's like, we are royally screwed. Once the whole crazy new world, the wokeism world becomes like the chairman of the Federal Reserve, it's done. Better cling on to your Bitcoin and it better be cold storage. Yep. We're effed. Okay, so that was just one thing I'd seen today. Let's see, scanning some. Dude, look at this. And this is trade setup. Oh, nice the way it performed at the end. It's up 1.5% after hours. Oh my god. Earning, of course. Why can we not just have earnings be done? I got August 31st and before Moon, so it's got a couple weeks. But look, man, just think about this, right? This is critical thinking. It's not like I'm making a call or I think. I'm just saying, like, you tell me what's really happening here. You are in a well-established downtrend, and it's been that way for a year. Yeah, HRL, Hormel Foods Corporation, lower highs, lower lows. And since March, you have, right after the major drawdown, and then the Fed injected over $500 billion into, we're back on its balance sheet in 2 weeks. This is all that's been happening with all that liquidity, bear flagging, bearish consolidation. Clearly. And so now, $40, a peak from 2015, a peak from 2016. Valley from 2019, November 2019, and really 2021, right? You fell below that. And so, I mean, having a stop at or slightly above all these local highs, with the downside being a continuation of the whole downtrend, which would be like $34, maybe even $30. I don't see, like, that's like low risk, right? Having a stop there, you're risking one to win over 3 or maybe even 5+ on these targets. The trend is your friend. You're identifying a pattern. And it's like, again, I mean, we're talking many months of consolidation. When consolidation happens after massive drawdowns, remember, there's a limited amount of time for the market participants to come up with an argument to reverse the overall trend, right? So this was their argument. This was how many market participants existed on HRL. There were so many less than before that you know. They're going to relent eventually, unless earnings, scam. I'm saying exclude earnings. That's the way you look at charts, man. The buyers they'll quit. They'll give up 1 time, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Dude, where is everyone? The cavalry is not coming. Okay, time to run. Fight or flight. They've been fighting this whole time, and they realize it's time to fly, because if we don't fly, if we don't leave, we're about to lose a lot of money, a lot more money. So they're all going to collectively give up together. And I think you would eventually continue this downtrend. And $34, $30, good targets down there. Okay. Oh, Bitcoin nearing session lows. Do we want to go back? Here you go. Demand line is upon thee. Down 3.44%. Down worse than a lot of altcoins today. Altcoins kind of got wrecked hardest yesterday. They're still down today, but Bitcoin's all right. Here we are, chat. We've just achieved, I believe, session lows, or not by like $5, which is nothing. So yeah, virtually. There it is. Session lows, chat.
Look here. Look, listen.
200-day moving average is upon us. It was upon thee, but I was thinking not just me is thee. Thee is me, right? Thee does not include the collective we, as the Big Lebowski would say.
I don't know, sir.
I'm gonna have an alert at that 200 moving average. We'll get. Oh, thanks, Charlotte. I don't know, man. It might be your government. I don't know, dude. You're probably in the U.S., aren't you? I don't know.
$1 Another 5 coming, won't let me super chat 15.
Sure, dude. Yeah, we'll look at it. Why not? But we're looking at Bitcoin right now, just until it bounces a little bit, you know. I don't know, man. Like, you know, it's just crazy. People come in talking crap. They'll pay money to talk crap. And it's like, why can't he ever tip me when, like, with his thinking, right, where it's all about being right and wrong, why can't he tip me positively, right, when it's like, well, this is higher risk as F anyway for a long, no matter what way you look at it, even if it went higher. But he wouldn't tip to be like, hey, man, that makes sense, blah, blah, blah. It's only hate and vitriol from the low IQ. 27.7 right now. INJ, sure. This is a scam. Remember, crypto's virtually, it's all Beanie Babies. They're Beanie Babies in virtual form. This is the 1990s. History doesn't repeat, but it oftentimes rhymes.
Still green amid this death. Looks overbought, but I see no resistance. Clear skies and the DMI is trending upward at like 75, with plenty of buys. Even crazier on the bust pair. Maybe I'm nuts, but probably gonna stay long. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, dude. Well, 40 travel, I think 15. Whatever, it's just a long extended joke. We can try and look at it, whatever you said about looking at it, we can. Again, it's crypto, so thanks, man. But this time it's different. Every single time. This time it's different. This crypto is not a scam. This crypto pumping like this is sustainable and will continue. Okay, here's INJ. Oh yeah, dude. INJ, nice. It's been a nice trend, but remember, hey, that's a really nice bearish shark pattern that completed and has been rolling over. Maybe a bullish 5-0 upon us if the trend remains, but isn't it crazy? Like, I mean, something like this, you know where the real inflection point is. Yeah, 5. He said, like, is it headed for 5 or whatever? Yeah, I mean, that's the next. Look, I'm not saying it's going there. Do you get that levels exist from history? We identify them, we mark them. That's where they reversed in history. So that's a very good level to interpret where they're going, possibly going next if they can't break the levels above them where they reversed. So yes, this going to $5 makes sense. Doesn't mean we know it's going there. But what else could we really look at and say, oh, it's going to reverse because it goes straight up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. A couple of times it doesn't. We're just going to say it's not this time. I mean, it's hard to strategize a strategic stop loss and entry if you don't do that. So it is at 33 on the RSI, so it's not technically oversold, even though it bounced off of 30. Yeah, all you got is maybe a 5-0. Let's see, low to high. Yeah, it's at the 618 though. It's at the max threshold of a 5-0. Only 50% to 618 is the only area. If it falls below that, it's no longer a valid 5-0, I don't think. You're still above the 200-day moving average, so the trend is okay. I mean, yeah, sure, you're in an uptrend. Unlike like all the other cryptos or the downtrends, like all other, I mean, that's pretty, isn't it? But you know, in a downtrend like this, you wouldn't be like off to think like, oh, type 2. Before then going, but then at that point, like the thing is, these harmonics, you identify them, and this reminds me maybe Scott Carney and reading about the NASDAQ in like 2000, like where, yeah, this will happen. This will present itself. And like during the bear trend, the tech bubble pop offloading, right? And it's like, okay, it'll hit the second target and just violate it and just continue down. Yeah, really bearish conditions. Like that'll happen. Yeah. So that's why you wait for this type 2, but then you wait for a signal candle maybe at the type 2. But preferably you want the type 2 return and all the harmonic completion to be happening at key levels from history, which I don't really think wasn't really going on. I guess like this 2021 level. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah, it's uptrending. Uptrending for now and could pivot as long as a higher low than like $5 comes in, you're technically fine. Like the trend does not start reversing till you make the lower high, then you make the lower low, then a lower high.
Don't want to scare anyone, but Pfizer and Moderna are both up today. TA on Oki. Thanks, Mitch.
Let's go, Rep. Thank you for the 15. Well, look, Bobby, Betty's been here since day one. All right, you've been here since, what, the Roman times? It's about when I started streaming. Ancient times, BC. Thank you. Bitcoin still right at that session low. Going through these requests while I'm up. Do we have fresh lows right now? So close, man. 671 is the lowest, so... which I think we just hit. So, okay. I mean, this is a request, man. I am very grateful for the contributions, but man, elephant coin, plenty of buys, by the way, probably by the insider scammers who are pushing it up, man. I don't know. Elephant to BUSD. Here it is, dude. Okay. I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, this is the golden zone. If you're actually going to use traditional Fibonacci targeting from the all-time high to the lowest low. Elephant coin has not even hit a 50% retrace. I mean, you could go from 3,070 all the way to 3,692 and it'd be common before a reversal. So there's nothing you can really do here. Like there's no way to strategize anything. So all I can do is look at the price and talk about Fibonacci. That's it, man. Right? If you can't strategize it with a stop loss entry, take Bravos equitable, right? Then nothing. There's Bitcoin at session lows. Well, just was $2 off session lows. My God. Not really going anywhere. I'm like, come on, dude, flush. There it is. 27,666. Yikes. Yeah, nice trend since the crash. That's all the time I can spend on it, man, right? It's like, I don't want people to think like, oh, they should buy elephant coin right now. That's insane. All right, OGI. Well, Bitcoin, and there it is. Let's go to Bitcoin real quick, okay? Maybe it might be time to put Bitcoin on the chat screen. Maybe Bitcoin should be on the chat screen. Because we have like, it's like, right, if on the Weather Channel what happens, or anywhere, like you're on regular programming and like there's a severe storm or a tornado warning, like it'll have like the weather and the radar and like show where there's warnings and stuff per county. I mean, that's virtually what I do when there's a price action on Bitcoin. You put it up instead of chat. Regular scheduled chatting. Let me see if I can do it. I don't even find it. What the? Up. There it is. Yep. Here's your bearish tornado warning. I'll take off the volume so it makes it less busy. There we go. So you can see the demand line. You can see the 200-day moving average. It's all down there. Okay. Take off my alert. Perfect. After the bearish back test of that 31K or that 30K level, excuse me. No, I was saying like I would go live again if we saw session lows, but that didn't happen. I just went live because it was power hour and whatever. I wasn't live yesterday, so it was like let's do it, man. But yeah, something happening on the RSI on Bitcoin on the daily. Lowest relative strength reading since November of 2022. So right now, Bitcoin is at its lowest RSI of 2023. Welcome to the effing show. Negative momentum building. Yikes. But still like way higher than it was in November 2022. I mean, November, right? Like last time RSI was this low was Bitcoin's half the price it's at now.
Thanks for your insights, man. PGNY, please. Progeny.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Goombas, man. Multiple contributions today. Cheers, dude. The support. 100% crowdsourced stream. Thank you, dude. So I don't know how anyone could talk crap about me or to me when all I'm trying to do is like help people learn the stuff that I learned over 14 years ago, right? I mean, that's like over, it's a process, right? Education is a process. So 14 years of the process is where I'm at, you know? And I'm just trying to, you know, I'm a conduit and a disciple of traditional technical analysis by the books, right? Not, oh, some guy on Twitter said this, blah. No, just by the books, man. And then someone's going to come in and talk crap about me or talk crap to me when it's like you got people that are shilling scams, that are moving to Dubai, that are like, right, actually have hurt people for real, promoting like liquidity grabs and scams. And here I am just trying to talk about the charts. That's it. Price action, psychology of buyers and sell. That's all I'm trying to do, man. No, that would not be a buying signal. Like just because the RSI gets oversold and its lowest level since 2022 does not mean it's a buying signal, right? Don't you remember what buying signals are? There's buying signals like Japanese candlesticks, but it's all happening at inflection points. There are a multitude of variables. Go watch the cake baking video. That is how one comes up with a buying signal. That's when someone has conviction in taking a long or a short.
Can you take a look at your thanks?
What's up, Golden Knight? Thanks for the Central Floridian 20. Yeah, super Floridian right there. Thank you, dude. We'll do it. I'm not naming names. It's like, dude, because you don't have to name names. It's like 99% of cryptos are scams, right? And then you have 99% of people who are in this space that did take money from actual crypto scams or whatever, crypto projects, okay, they did that. So they're all the same. 99% of them, 99% of cryptos are scams, but then there's like less than 1% of people of cryptos are not scams, and less than 1% of people who are in the crypto space doing kind of in the world of what I'm doing, not even the same, right? That didn't take money from them and did not promote their stuff to you, to the viewer. So that's really it, man. And that's reality. Objective reality. Find me someone in this space besides like Ben Cohen, that's the only one I know, that didn't take money from a product or a project or a crypto and then promoted it to their audience. Find me another one besides Ben Cohen. Maybe Eric Crown, I don't even know. I don't think he did. I don't think he needs to either. It's like name me one, and then then someone else in the chat could name 100 people in the space that did do it. Okay, let's see. Next one was did I look at that one? I can't remember. Let's see. Let's go to it. No, OGI. Well, I mean, good God, man. It's like an S coin, dude. Wow. I don't really see what in the world. I get why you requested it, right? This is OGI. OGI is like, okay, clearly a dead trend. You can call it a downtrend anymore. She said dead trend. It's like a death spiral. But What happened? Was there a split or something? I don't know. My fibs are all screwed up. Like I would not ever. Yeah, they're there, and then the highest high. Why is it light, dude? My fibs are F. So it's way beyond an 886. That's something's. They must have split or something. I think they maybe did. Yeah, there was a split. When anytime an asset splits, your data on TradingView will get completely screwed up. It'll look like, what does this guy do? It's like, yep. So anyway, whatever the price was, it's now $1.58. But yeah, he requested it because he's like, hey man, is that like a confirmation low off this low from 2015? Yeah, sure. If you were a scalper, by all means, that's like where people take longs at supports from history. Riveting, but the trend's garbage. And you would just ask, what would the upside be? 208, $2.08 maybe. And if not, then it's a little zone here where you got 201. So $2. That would be your upside potential. That's the next resistance. That's all I can do is tell you that. I bet there was it looks like there's divergence. It almost looks like, look, like WWE, or it looks like live cattle futures, kind of like a high, then a drawdown, ooh, then a slightly higher high, then the same high. And it's like very weak price action from the sellers, shorting a thrust, right? Divergence. Yeah, you were definitely diverging to a degree. Not even on the MACD. It's so bad, dude. So yeah, if someone was able to take a long at 129, you're off that now. It's up 11.2% today. So it's like you requested it, and it's like, well, I mean, one should be requesting before the 11% up days. Someone's requesting like when an asset's like August 15th or the 14th, maybe even yesterday, where it's like an engulfing candle at this support from 2015. That's it. That's all I got. OGI. Hey, they occasionally don't lose money, but they never make money. That's OGI. Agricultural commodities milling. Process industries. Okay, so the problem is like the trend is so bad that like, yeah, your target of inflection, right? The historic levels from history, $2 to 208. But the trend's so bad. What happens if there's not enough demand and the trend's just going to be the way it is? You fill a gap, maybe you get close, and then you roll over again. You know, that's very probable because that's all that happens for years on this asset. So you can't even look. Last time there wasn't even enough demand to even test that level. That you see, you saw me plot the level. Look, it's two different bits. A candle high close from January 2015, and then like a candle open from April 2015. That's it. So there wasn't even enough demand on the last peak to test that before collapsing on earnings. So yeah, but okay. So it's all about like, I just think there are better assets to own out there or to trade, whatever. But yeah, you're right. 130 was a support from a long time ago. Yep. For the second time. PG&I or white. Yeah, there you go, Rep. I mean, sure, yeah, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. It was there. Confirmation low at a key ice line from many years ago. Absolutely. 8 years ago. But trend awful, so it could perform miserably.
WKHS.
Ugh. Hey, speaking of bear trend, terrible performance, right? There was a rally above that ice line, and then it was short-lived because the trend's garbage, and the macro rolled over too. So you see like the big levels here, PGNY, progeny. I mean, you can see like, okay, some price action 2019, 2020, like a spring back test from 2022, even here, look, January of this year. Okay. The issue is, yeah, you made a higher low. That's your first higher low, but you have not yet once made a higher high. So the trend is still bearish. It's still a downtrend. Okay, you can show accumulation in downtrends. Normally looks like this. And it's, you know what it is? It's a bearish bat pattern that reacted very well. Nice bearish bat pattern. 886. There it is. I mean, so status quo here, right? Business as usual. And it's really like, I mean, if you want to be real, it's like almost a bearish Gartley, you know, close enough to a 618, and that's a 786, dude. And it could be a Gartley type 2. Oh my God. Type 1, then type 2. Nice nice shooting star reversal, if I've ever seen one. It's a green one, but they're real. Close to an abandoned baby, but yeah, I would just say either one. Same thing. Someone asked about it. It's like, dude, a shooting star and a bearish abandoned baby, they can be close to each other, but they both are the same thing. They're both reversal signal candles. And that looks like a great little liquidity grab, you know? So I know the higher low, and what could happen, you know? It could come down and make a third higher low. It could come down to like right there, and then one low, the second low, then the third low. But until your previous highs from history, like discernible highs, are captured, recaptured, and then you saw them make a higher low, you cannot call this an uptrend yet. You just can't, man. It could just end up becoming a bearish continuation of the overall trend, a prevailing trend, which is bearish. Right? The high, look, the high, then the highest high. And then the low, the lower high, then the lower low, then the lower high, then the lower low, lower high. Oh, a higher low. Okay, step one in trend reversal, but not enough. Okay, now it's time to make a higher high. Failure. You've now confirmed the failure. You confirmed that you're not making a higher high than the previous high. So the trend is actually still bearish long term. So pay attention to that. I can't really sign off on this as like a good long or anything. What were you saying? That was it. He didn't really say anything. Yeah, I mean, I would look for maybe it's hard to like $33. And $33 could be cool. It could be really real. I mean, this could be an actual inflection zone to think about strategizing an entry if buyers can defend it for the third time, maybe. And set up a stop, of course, below that, because you don't act like you know where it's going next. You're not making a call here. You're just looking at levels from history and you're saying, hey, man, we're making higher lows and we just made another one and buyers defended it and there's an engulfing candle here or something. A piercing line reversal, right? Bullish Arami, something. But you're just not at a very good level for a long yet. And you haven't reversed the trend yet. Okay, let's get a workhorse. No, wait, no, we're going to look at the euro. Euro first for the Central Floridian. That's the euro. Yeah, this looks like bearish stuff. This looks to me like I know the trend has been okay, but you're talking about a high. I like the back test, then a rally off the back test of a key level, and then a slightly higher high, then a solve again, then a slightly higher high again. It's like the third high. No real edge though. No like maybe like on the weekly or 3-day or something. Weekly? Almost looks like oh yeah, this is like a lot. So to me, it's just like class C. I think you got like stagnation. You made a high, then you made a slightly higher high, but you're making about the same levels of momentum, and these two levels of momentum are substantially lower than that first one. Same thing here. It's like the same. I mean, kind of choppy on the RSI. But dude, you were on the 3-day. Look at the 200 moving average, down sloping still. You could almost look at this like a 3 drives pattern. Almost. I'd be inclined to think lower, not higher. But that's just me. Like, and I don't think it's really you could strategize here. It's really tough, you know. But just think about it. There's probably like it's consolidating, and you just failed, right? It was a breakout in July, mid-July, and then immediately rejected. 3-day bearish engulfing candle back into this consolidation. You've been selling ever since. So is there any contraction? It's kind of like a rising wedge pattern, isn't it? Like a 3-day rising wedge. Daily too. So that means like there's so much time that could go by and price action that could go by, and it stays within this. It hits the bottom and rallies again, but you're consolidating. You know, it'd be crazy. You get something like this, and then you get like a nice one more rally, and it's like a perfect back test, an up thrust, and then back test of up thrust. That would be the perfect short ever. If you got some sort of signal candle right there after failing to break it, not breaking any, just testing it. That would be like the optimum short setup. So easy to strategize an entry and a stop loss and take profits. Thing is, when you like go short on wedges at tops, man, like you maybe have the stop loss just marginally above that candle close. And look, you could have a failed trade almost, and you're still going to get 3 to 1. You know, you could trade within the wedge and still get an equitable trade. Not even to mention it breaking downward, eventually resolving like the bearish reversal pattern. So I can't really sign off on it as an actionable entry right now for anything, but it does look like it's developing a bearish reversal after crazy run it's been in since October, November last year. Workhorse. Back to unemployed, not working horse. The lame horse. Yep, back to supports, if any. You might have broken it already. Yep, looks like you broke it. Let me go to the daily here. Yeah, very bad. So this is like you were right angled and descending broadening formation. You would definitely consider this weakness, false bullish breakout. And now you're right back. You know what happened today on Workhorse? The lowest daily candle close since April of 2019. So multi-year lows, but also look at this level here. Closed below the ice line. It was a confirmed bearish breakdown October 2012 and August 2014. That's it. I mean, that below that, you would never even want to think about it. You wouldn't think about Workhorse till it gets above 80 cents. You're at 78. So to me, bearish trend. It's like an S coin, right? This Workhorse, let's make sure. Yeah, they never make money ever. So yep, Beanie Baby category. And below support. It hit a support a couple times and then rallied. That's what happens. But there was clearly not near enough demand to get the price any higher. So weak that couldn't even come close to testing the 200 or a supply line from history. Couldn't even come close to rivaling the previous high. This is garbage. It very well could continue. And what would your next target be if it failed? I mean, if it stayed where it is, if there was follow through in this confirmed bearish breakdown today, 50-cent target. So that is insane downside potential. What is that? Percentage-wise, it is. You have a good 35 to 36% downside potential from here. There's your Workhorse space. Very bad. These are bear trends, and they're at supports. It does not ensure that they're gonna reverse here. The new data presenting itself is what you should pay attention to always. Most discernible recent event on the Workhorse chart was a higher high locally, but not for long. And look at the strength of the sellers coming right back in within just a matter of a week or a week and a half to get it right back to that support, and now taking out the lows from June. Very bad, very bearish. Okay. So we just got through all the requests, man. Been a pretty active stream. There's been price action. Normally the streams are more active when there's price action. Happens to be that. I'm live early for that. Bitcoin is nearing that 200-day moving average. Have your alert set up. When you hear the beep, you know that it's being tested for the first time since that fateful bullish hammer day, March 10th. Looks like you're going to see that. I mean, look how close we are. Demand line looks like it's going to be tested. At this point, I don't know why it wouldn't. Anything below 28.8 equals 25,350 anyway. If you exclude a demand line and you exclude a 200 moving average, 25,350. Okay, that's it, man. I mean, that's the update. That's like kind of why I go live. Yeah, what do you want, man? What are we gonna do? Under Armour's fine. Under Armour's fine. I mean, right? No technical damage yet to it. And yeah, like whatever. But hey, remember, it could fail because the market could just, the macro could just collapse that bad. We could just be getting into, I mean, in reality, you know how bad things actually are fundamentally. So at any time after an 88% retrace from the all-time high from November of 2021 to the lowest low November last year, when these index funds run up 78, 88% of the way, and they've had 23% retraces minimum, you can't be surprised when it happens, especially at 786s and 886s, which is where we are, and failed breakout attempts of key inflection points from years ago. So I don't know, man, sticking around for
Do you think ETH/BTC will crash before it's all said and done?
Again, it's not about what I think, right? You got to get your mentality right. I don't have, all I think are structural developments that I've studied for years. That's all I think. And one that I've got is this. Oops, yeah, Ethereum. This is all I've got on Ethereum to Bitcoin. This is Wyckoff distribution by the book. Guess what's happening? Again, Larry, more last points of supply. Yeah, there's a supply line. It's a wedge. Okay, Raw Paul, whatever. Last points of supply. The next thing that happens is 5.5 million Satoshis. I can show you. I mean, like, we can do it like this because, you know, people don't believe, I don't need you to believe me or trust me. You don't have to, because everything I do is by a book. It's not by me. I'm not making up these things. So I can just be like, refer to the source material for literally everything I do. And let me pull it up so you can see it. This would be the upthrust after distribution schematic. That'd be number 1. Let me just show you here, Larry, because you don't need to believe me. Frankly, I don't care if you do or not. Okay. There it is. Wyckoff distribution. Oh, how does it work? How does it go, right? Was the preliminary supply, the buying climax. There wasn't really a prelim supply there. That's the one thing off on this, right? The buying climax, then the automatic rally, secondary test, the sign of weakness. In phase B, the upthrust, the sign of weakness again, the upthrust after distribution, and then all the last points of supply, which is phase D. You are here on the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. That's where you are, right there. You see my mouse cursor? I know it's hard to see. It's white, but that's it. And the next step, if the TA is respected, if what I'm interpreting is correct, because I could be wrong. It's a wedge, man. I could be wrong. So if I'm not wrong, and like, because Bitcoin dominance, you know, I wasn't wrong on that. Identifying Wyckoff accumulation in the spring back test, that played out ungodly. So let's see if we can bat 2 for 2 on the identification of the composite operator. So the composite operator currently on Ethereum is offloading his position quietly, subtly over a very long time. That's what this is representing. Tons of last points of supply. It's kind of unbelievable. But yeah, you would think the next target would be still in phase D. You'll be in phase D for it can extend on until you get to the bottom of the Wyckoff distribution schematic, or the support of the trading range. All right. Still below the 200 moving average. The moving average still down sloping. All these lower highs, right? It's just they went proof, before, they were not proof of work. And they become proof of work or proof of stake. And then it's like, all right, this is then presented. I don't think the composite man likes that they went proof of stake. You ever grandfathered for bankruptcy for the 20th time? Who cares, dude? They were done anyway. Now it's like Zongong or whatever getting wrecked over there in China. China's in trouble. I mean, they're really bad. And probably a lot. I mean, maybe Bitcoin offloaded getting offloaded because Chinese are, you know, panicking a little bit. See how Asia reacts in just a couple hours. Yeah, just pay attention, man. You've broken 28.8 on Bitcoin, and if you only care about horizontal line support resistances, the next big one's 25,350. So there, again, I don't want to like exclude demand lines. That's cool, demand lines, 200-day moving average, very real. It could bounce there, yeah. But if you're talking about horizontally, 8% downside. Excuse me, sorry, my eyeball's itching here. I think I'm allergic to whatever. I'm allergic to something, dude. I'm allergic to red candles. Well, I mean, humans program the bots, which impact this market. So, but yeah, I think just yesterday, Bitcoin, or 2 days ago, Bitcoin saw its lowest volume, I think, on exchanges ever. Like ever, dude. All right, I'm gonna leave y'all to it. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We'll see what happens going into the close today. I'll be in the Discord. You should too be in the Discord. And I'll be back. Until next time, respect, T, A.